Yeah. Yeah. Run it back, nation. What is good? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. What a ridiculous game that was. 3:30 on a Sunday. The game started. The Eagles game was still on. Only real sickos watched the first quarter of that game, and we were there. There was about 300 of us sickos watching the first quarter of that game right here live on YouTube. And the ending was just unreal for a lot of different reasons. NBA officiating continues to be the most embarrassing group of organized individuals on earth. Just absolutely ridiculous. We're going to talk about a couple of things in that fourth quarter or the overtime, whatever it was, that, the officials tried to take the game away from us a couple of times. Tyrese Maxey finally had a Tyrese Maxey-esque game, put the team on his back in crunch time over and over and over and over again. Massive performance from Tyrese Maxey. So everybody, after 2 games of bad shooting, everybody, oh my God, he's not the guy, he's not the guy, he's not the guy. I told you last year, I told you the year before, he's not the guy. Short circuit, robot, NPCs, you keep saying the same thing over and over. I told you, bro, take a damn deep breath. Let the kid get in rhythm, and once he does, he's going to be right back to what he was doing. You watched it happen last year. You watched it happen in the playoffs. You should have known this was coming. Tyrese Maxey drops 45 points in a heroic effort to upset the Indiana Pacers without Joel Embiid, without Paul George. Put the team on his back in the fourth quarter, put the team on his back in overtime. Crazy finish. We're going to get into everything. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for tuning in. We got a super chat from that one boy, 687. Maxey took down the Halaban and his ref supporters. We're leaving that one on the screen until another one comes in. We're leaving that one on the screen until another one comes in. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. The officials tried to take us out of this game. They tried to hand it to the Indiana Pacers a couple of times, and we still prevailed. Hey, member of the channel, thanks for being a member of the channel. Been a member of the channel for 30 months. What was Caleb Martin thinking fouling Halliburton? He got lucky. I don't know. That was an interesting one, man. We'll talk about that too. Thank you for being a member of the channel. Thank to the other members in the chat. Be active in the chat. Throw me questions and all your hot takes, and we'll read your comments. And the most important thing before we get this show started is hit the like button. The like button is currency for us YouTube content creators. It literally pushes the videos through the algorithm and pays my bills. So do me the favor of just hitting the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. We're approaching 25,000 subscribers, and we're going to talk about everything. The Philadelphia 76ers win 118-114 in overtime fashion. A ridiculous ending. The Sixers, in true Sixer fashion, had the game iced plenty of times. Plenty of times. And at the end of the fourth, I said, I don't know why I always fall for this. I should know it's the Philadelphia 76ers. They're going to find a way. Something bad's going to happen, you know? You can't just end a game the normal way when you're the Philadelphia 76ers. Something bad's going to happen. Up by 3 with 13 seconds left. And Tyrese Halliburton pump fakes on the 3-point line. Kelly Oubre manages somehow not to foul him, and he does almost a 360 hook shot from the 3-point line and swishes it to tie the game and send it to overtime. Just an absolute ridiculous shot. I mean, almost on the level of like the Kawhi Leonard 4-bounce shot to take the Sixers out of the second round in 2019. A ridiculous shot. One of those shots that seems like it only happens against the Philadelphia 76ers, but he hit it. We went to overtime, and, Tyrese Maxey did his thing at the end of the fourth quarter, and I said, we need more from you, Tyrese. We need you to put this team on your back in overtime and deliver us a victory, and he did it again. Tyrese Maxey in overtime gave Andrew Nembhard bucket after bucket after bucket after bucket. And then they double teamed him on the right side, and he ran around the double team and got a lefty finger roll to go. There's nothing they could do to stop Tyrese Maxey once he started cooking. And he put the team on his back in overtime and delivered it. Now, a couple of seconds left. Sixers are up 3. Andrew Nembhard says, I'm going to go to the rim on Tyrese Maxey. He can't defend me, and I'm going to get a bucket right here to cut it to 1. Tyrese Maxey, two-handed block to what should have been end the game. But no. First of all, incredible defensive play by Tyrese Maxey. Put the team on his back on the offensive side, comes down, makes a two-handed block on the defensive side. Should have ended the game right there in overtime. No. Yet again, NBA officials need to review it. Indiana challenges who the ball was out on. They go to review who the ball was out on. And when they review who the ball was out on, they can call a foul that they missed in real time, which is honestly the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. They did it 4 times in this game. It's embarrassing that the NBA is this bad at officiating. It is absolutely horrendous. Because here's what's happening. And this happened last year a couple of times. But apparently now it's a rule. I don't know. I guess it was a rule last year. I saw it last year a couple of times. When an official makes a call, you can challenge the call, right? If the official missed a foul or a foul was a judgment call in real time and they didn't call it, but they called it out of bounds on a team and you challenge that, you're challenging the call of out of bounds on that team. That's the only thing they should be reviewing and overturning. You should not be looking at the replay there and saying, okay, you won the challenge. We got that wrong. It was out of bounds, but we missed a foul call and we're going to call that now instead. That is ridiculous. That is like an NFL wide receiver catching a touchdown in the back of the end zone. They call it out of bounds. You challenge it. They review it. He has 2 feet down. He has the catch, but they say, oh, but he pushed off with the left arm before he caught the ball, and now we're going to call it offensive pass interference instead of a touchdown. That's insane. Why is that the way that this works in the NBA? I don't want to rant about that all night, but let's go through those plays from the officials at the end of this game and just, I mean, so the Oubre, Caleb Martin, the Oubre, not Oubre, Martin and Nembhard or somebody under the rim, out of bounds call. They review that call, out of bounds. We challenge it. It's overturned, but they called a foul on Caleb Martin. So we won the challenge, but we lost the challenge because they say, hey, you're right, we were wrong, so you win the challenge, but we were wrong twice. There was a foul that we missed, so now we're going to call the foul that we missed, so actually you lose the challenge. That's fucking ridiculous. Let's call it what it is here. That is absolutely the dumbest way to do things in sports. I can't believe the NBA does it that way. Then Oubre drives on Miles Turner, gets hit on the arm, gets hit on the back of the head. Referee calls a foul. Indiana challenges it. Referees watch it in super slow-mo. You can see the hit on the arm. You can see the tap on the back of the head. It wasn't hard, but he made contact with the arm of a player going up for a shot. The officials say no illegal contact was made from Turner on Oubre, no foul. And then doubling down on stupidity, Ala Abdenabi on the live broadcast says, I guess it was incidental contact. Or he says, maybe it was incidental contact. Incidental contact on a shooter is a foul. I'm hoping he was being sarcastic when he said that, but I honestly doubt it. Then we get an air ball from Indiana. They don't reset the shot clock. The ball never touches the rim. The shot clock stops at 6 seconds. It should have been ruled a shot clock violation because Indiana kicked the ball back out. Instead, because they didn't run the shot clock on an air ball, they give the ball back to Indiana with 6 seconds on the shot clock. That one made absolutely no sense. And I cannot believe, I should be able to believe it, but NBA officials were absolutely horrendous in this game. But on a realistic note, they were bad on both ends. And that's all that I ask. If you're going to be terrible at officiating, at least be terrible on both ends. There was a little bit of a bailout call for Tyrese Maxey a possession later where he got Andrew Nembhard in the post and did like a little double pivot fadeaway. And I didn't think it was a foul. They called it a foul. So that we got a couple bad calls in our favor also. But that replay stuff is just insufferable. I can't believe how bad the NBA is at this challenge replay stuff. It's so bad. It's not even close to good. Not even close to good. I know Tyrese Maxey with a 45-point performance is player of the game, but we got to talk about what some of these players did at the end of the fourth quarter that really sent it to overtime and gave the 76ers this win. But I want to clear something up before we get there. People that didn't watch the game, they're just going to look at the stats and they're going to say he shot 32 shots for 45 points. He shot a terrible percentage. I want to tell you this. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. Okay? If you just watched a gutsy win like that, and the first thing you do is run to the stat sheet and talk about percentages, you are a fucking nerd. All right? Please. Understand competition in sports. You need your lead player to try his best to lead you and deliver a victory. If he shoots terrible in the first half and he gets on a hot streak and shoots great in the second half, the totality is going to be a bad percentage, but he brought the win home. Who the hell talks about shooting percentage when you won the damn game? Yeah, you won the game, but he shot 30% from the field. Come on, bro. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Please watch games. I don't care if he shot the ball 50 times. I don't care if he shot 75 three-pointers. Tyrese Maxey won the game for the 76ers. Now, Tyrese Maxey was struggling again in the first half, and the rest of the team was stepping up. And that gives me hope for the depth of this team and that, we overreacted the first two games. The rest of the team stepped up in the first half when Tyrese was continuing to be ice cold. He was ice cold game one. He was ice cold game two. He was ice cold the first half of this game. The rest of the team was stepping up. We got some on-ball creation from Eric Gordon. We had some actual systems running, not just Tyrese Maxey iso ball the whole game. We had some Eric Gordon pick and rolls with Andre Drummond. We had Caleb Martin creating things and getting in the lane. Of course, Kelly Oubre was doing his thing, being the football player that he is, putting his head down, plowing his way into the lane, playing just the craziest style of basketball you could imagine, but just being Kelly Oubre, making something out of nothing, give you something when you need something. Jared McCain got minutes. I'm going to talk about him in a minute. A lot of things happened in the first half when Tyrese Maxey was still struggling to shoot the ball that got us to the second half. So the rest of the team stepped up when Tyrese Maxey was struggling, and that is a good sign. Nick Nurse accepted the fact that Reggie Jackson is completely washed and he ate ice cream and mashed potatoes all offseason, and there's no room for a fat NBA player, so he didn't play him. They should just release him. Thank you, Reggie Jackson, for your service. Hit the treadmill and try again next year. I don't know what's going on. He decided that Jared McCain is actually a skilled basketball player with some ball handling ability and some attacking ability and should be on the floor. So I love that he did that because realistically, outside of Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain's the only other on-ball creator on your entire roster right now, with Paul George still being out. And so that got us to the second half. And I was saying in the first half on the live stream, if the rest of the team is stepping up like this, Tyrese Maxey's still shooting bad, just wait until he gets into a rhythm and starts knocking down shots. Just wait, because it's going to happen. This is what I don't understand about people that he's not the guy, or this is the end of the world. He's terrible. He's never, like, you guys see something happen one way and you don't think it's going to come back. You think he's just going to be a bad shooter now forever. That doesn't make any sense. He's going to come out of the shooting slump at some point. And when he does, watch the man cook. Watch the man cook. And in the third quarter, Tyrese Maxey got a little floater to go in. I think at the end of the first half, he got a little floater to go in. And he was clapping and punching himself in the chest and screaming, "Let's fucking go!" You know, and that emotion and that intensity from Tyrese Maxey and just the general like frustration you could see from him that he's pissed. I'm pissed off. I finally put the ball in the hoop, man. You know, anyone that's ever played the game has experienced that, where you just can't buy a bucket to save your life, and then finally you see the ball go through the hoop, and you're like, finally, maybe that'll get me into a little bit of a rhythm. And it got him into a rhythm. And then he hit another little turnaround floater in the lane. And then he drove and high off the glass over Miles Turner. Beautiful finish. And screams in Miles Turner's face. Let me tell you one thing. Nice Tyrese Maxey is a good basketball player. Angry Tyrese Maxey, everybody watch out. We've been saying for the last couple years, you know, once this kid gets solidified and starts to play the game with that level of passion and confidence and anger, yeah. Because now he knows how good he is. And he knows the shooting slump was just a shooting slump. And he knew it was going to end at some point. And the passion that he showed and the intensity that he showed when he started to see a couple of them go in was next level. And I felt it. It resonated. You know what I mean? And then then he just starts cooking, bro. Then he just starts cooking. Step back threes. He had a catch and shoot three off a Yabusele offensive rebound, which Yabusele out hustled two players, Miles Turner and I think there was another guy down there. I forget his name. What the hell was his name, man? I want to call everybody Jamison Battle for some reason because that guy cooked us over there in Toronto. But Yabusele out hustled two players under the rim, kept the ball alive, and got it to Caleb Martin, who kicked it over to Tyrese Maxey for another three. And then, you know, once he caught fire, boy, he caught fire. And then some things happened, and, you know, we gave up a couple of buckets in the paint, and Tyrese Halliburton kept getting some layups. Andrew Nembhard kept getting some layups. We end up down by 5 with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. And the gutsiest way you could ever get back into a game is defense, turning defense into offense. And the Sixers get back-to-back steals to swing the momentum. Down 5, minute and 30 seconds left. Steal by Andre Drummond. Steal by Caleb Martin, I think. And then another steal by Andre Drummond on the right side around a pick and roll. Tyrese Halliburton around a pick and roll. Drummond just swipes down at the ball, knocks it off his leg out of bounds. Shout out to Andre Drummond. You know, I know Tyrese Maxey's the player of the game with the 45 points and leading us in overtime and everything, but really, those two steals from Andre Drummond at the end of the fourth quarter saved this game. The 76ers were going to lose this game if that didn't happen. So shout out to Andre Drummond for that. Everybody fought, man. Everybody absolutely fought. And then, of course, you know, you're up by 3. It should be sealed. Halliburton hits the dumbest three-point shot I've ever seen in my life to tie it. And you go to overtime. And Tyrese Maxey gives Andrew Nembhard back-to-back buckets in overtime and ends up with 10 points and should have had a game-saving block, but they review an out-of-bounds call and add a foul after on the replay, which is, again, the dumbest thing the NBA could ever do. It just looked like the basketball gods or the NBA or officials just being really bad at this job was trying to take it away from us time and time again, and we prevailed. I saw resiliency from everybody on this team, and it was beautiful. Everybody on this team has a dog mentality. I love that. There's not a guy left. There's not a guy left that doesn't have a dog mentality. This guy right here, he's gone finally, bro. There's not a guy left that doesn't have a dog mentality. Everybody's diving on the floor. Everybody's going for steals. Everybody's fighting for rebounds. So you get Tyrese Maxey back in the rhythm. You get Paul George back. If you get Joel Embiid back, we can start to gel and we can start to make some things happen. And like we all knew, we're going to completely forget about the first 2 games of this season because it doesn't really matter. I really, really liked what I saw from everybody in this game. Jared McCain finally gets the respect that he deserves. And, I know you guys know what I said about Jared McCain after the draft, and that is what it is. I'm not going back on that. But shout out to Jared McCain, man, because I couldn't have been more wrong about a player after a draft pick than I was about Jared McCain. I was 100% wrong about Jared McCain when we drafted him. And I'm on the McCain train now. I was saying last game when you were struggling to have some kind of creator outside of Tyrese Maxey and Kyle Lowry's, shouldn't be playing 40 minutes and Eric Gordon shouldn't be playing 40 minutes. You have to play Jared McCain. And you can't just put him on the floor and stand him in the corner like they were doing against Toronto. You have to put him in the game and put the ball in his hands and see if he can do something. He did it at Duke. And this whole, Doc Rivers, Nick Nurse being afraid to put a rookie on the floor thing, it's ridiculous. Somebody that's played the game their whole life, that he can play the game at a high level. It's not like a Ricky Council or some undrafted player that you don't trust because he has this wild style and he might throw the ball over the backboard or kick it like a football or something. Jared McCain's a really good basketball player that was a high draft pick for a reason. Put him on the floor. And he finally did that. And Jared McCain made some things happen. And a lot of things I love about Jared McCain's game. Number one, strength, center of gravity, balance, control, patience. But the fact that he goes out there in an NBA game as a rookie and just starts going at guys, I love that so much. That level of confidence in a player that young is something we haven't seen in a lot of players that we've drafted over the past couple of years. The way that he took Derek White to the rim in the Boston Celtics preseason game and finished through contact, that's all I needed to see from Jared McCain. I knew he was ready right when I saw that. This game, Jared McCain gets in the game, little jab step spin into the lane on Andrew Nembhard. He missed the shot, and I think Andre Drummond put it back, but still, a player that can actually create something who's not named Tyrese Maxey. You need somebody else. And really, Jared McCain's the guy on this roster for that. Is he too young? Doesn't matter. You need him. And then we actually started to see some lineups with Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain on the floor together. And I know it's undersized, but Jared McCain doesn't really play an undersized kind of game. He plays a really physical game. He fights for rebounds. He had 2 offensive rebounds in the first half. 6'3" Jared McCain had 2 offensive rebounds in the first half. That kid is a fighter. Now, I don't know, man. Do I wish he was 6'5" or 6'6"? Sure. But I don't know, man. I'm starting to think Jared McCain might be the facilitating point guard that you need on the floor with Tyrese Maxey to really have a dynamic backcourt. So shout out to Jared McCain, man. He got a couple of buckets. He was 2 for 5. He had 4 points, 2 rebounds. But really, the stats won't show what Jared McCain did when he got in the game. It was in another one of those instances where you needed another creator because Tyrese Maxey was struggling, and he's just the only other quick ball handling shot creator on the entire roster. So shout out to Jared McCain, and I'm excited to watch him develop throughout the season. And I'm starting to think that Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey can be a pretty dynamic backcourt going forward. You know, let me know what you guys think about that. Anything I missed, man? Any hot takes you guys have in the chat? Let me know. I'm going to sit here, hang out, and read your comments for a couple of minutes, and then I'm up out of here, man. That game drove me nuts. I lost my voice. My throat hurts. That one was crazy. For that to be the third game of the season, that one was crazy, man. And you know, for it to go to overtime and end the way that it did, that felt like a playoff game, bro. That was crazy. Yeah, boy says McCain is NBA ready. I agree, man. I agree. He gets back on defense quick too, even though he's undersized. Yeah. He's an intense player. I love how physical he is, man. He's an intense player. He likes to go down there under the rim and get busy and bump shoulders with guys and fight under there. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from Jared McCain so far, man. Any other hot takes about the game? Any questions you guys got? Any just opinions you got about the game, man? Throw them in the chat. We'll look at the total team stats here, and then we'll go through the chat and have the conversations with you guys, man. The Sixers shot 26% from three-point range in this game. They are shooting an absolutely putrid three-point percentage to start the season. But it's going to get better. They'll get into rhythm. A bunch of guys together who haven't played together, and they're just figuring it out. There's going to be a lot of kinks. They're going to get that three-point percentage up. I really believe that. They were 11 for 42 in this game. 42% from the field. 31 free throws to 34. So again, even though the officials were absolutely putrid, at least they were bad on both ends. Tyrese Maxey finally started to get love from the officials after the obviously rigged opening night against the Bucks. I might as well call it at this point, as some of you did. Opening night in the NBA is a script. It just is. Opening night in the NBA is a script. They want certain stories so they can have big stories the next day, and the NBA is back, and look what happened last night, and Damian Lillard dropped 45, and Giannis and Dame and the Bucks are amazing, and now the East is stacked, and we need talking points for ESPN, and opening night is scripted. You can't tell me Tyrese Maxey attacked the rim 40 times in that game and got 4 free throws. Now the last 2 games, he finally starts to get foul calls when he gets hit under the rim, and he's going to the free throw line. So thankfully, the scripted game number 1 is over, and we're back to actually getting foul calls. That's nice. So we shot 31 free throws. We won the rebounding battle again. That's nice to be back in that category, Got absolutely destroyed on the boards by the Toronto Raptors. And again, I said, I would imagine Nick Nurse wasn't happy with the team. After the Toronto game, and as much as I ranted about Nick Nurse with his Doc River-esque refusal to play young guys, I know that he's a smart guy, and I know that he's open to experiment or open to change. He's self-aware enough that he can look at what happened in those 2 games and say, I need to do something different. And he did that, and also the rebounding. I guarantee you Nick Nurse ripped everybody a new one after that game about their effort on the rebound. So you come into the next game and you win the rebound battle by almost 20. That's beautiful. 20 offensive rebounds for the Philadelphia 76ers. Are you effing kidding me? The Sixers, bro? The team that can't get an offensive rebound ever to save my life? They finish a game with 20 offensive rebounds? Huge for the Sixers, man. Huge. 15 assists, 4 blocks. Each team had 20 turnovers. That's bad. Both teams were turning the ball over like hell. It started to look like a Heritage Park in Palmyra, Pennsylvania pickup game there for a couple of minutes with the ball going back and forth with the turnovers. 16-10 fast break points, 58-46 points in the paint, and 8-9 largest lead. Each team had a technical foul. Nick Nurse had a technical foul after that shot clock thing, which I thought was ridiculous also. They pull out the win, man. They pulled out the win, man. They pulled out the win. It was scrappy. It was wild, but they pulled out the win. What do you guys got for me in the chat, man? McCain is better than Lowry on both sides of the ball. Dude is a worker and grabs boards like he's 6'6". Yeah, I agree with you, man. And let me make sure get this back on to fit the screen here. I like Lowry. Lowry's been the only good 3-point shooter on the team so far this season. He's been clutch in that department. But yeah, he's not really quick enough anymore to create off the dribble. And he obviously can't defend anybody or get a rebound at all because he just, there was an opening drive where somebody had a driving dunk, Obi Toppin or somebody, and Lowry just kind of stood there. I think the guy might have jumped over top of him completely. So I agree with you, man. McCain needs the minutes, dude. He does. I agree with you, man. Today's a good day for Philadelphia sports. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles for blowing out the Cincinnati Bengals. I could be wrong, but I feel that could be why Maxey's shot's been off compared to how green he was in the preseason. What did you say? I think Maxey's shooting had dropped off since he hurt that finger, but because no Embiid or Paul George, we need him to win. I don't know if it's the thumb that he hurt in that preseason game. I don't know if that is. I just think the first 2 games, Tyrese Maxey was trying to get shots up and trying to score a lot of points to help us win because you're without PG and Embiid, and I don't think he was trusting the rest of his team enough. I don't think the rest of the team was in much of a rhythm, and Tyrese Maxey wasn't in much of a rhythm, and everything looked forced, and he was just out of rhythm for those 2 games, and then he was out of rhythm for the first half of this game, and then the third quarter rolls around, and he finally starts to get some kind of rhythm going, and the rest is history, at least for this game. Now let's hope that Tyrese Maxey can keep up that hot shooting moving forward. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't. He's ended a season shooting 43% from 3, his second year in the league. So, I think it's all good, man. Just 2 really cold shooting games and out of rhythm and trying to force things and things like that. Maxey needs to find his 3-point shot. Once that happens, the floodgates will open for him. He did find it. He found it in the third quarter and the fourth quarter of this game. The percentage doesn't show it, but watching the game, he found it. He started to hit, and he started to show some emotion, and he started to get on a roll, man. Sick as a dog right now, but an Eagles win and a Sixers win with a 45-point game from Maxey. Can't ask for much more. I agree. I'm here for gluing all the hair that fell out of my head during the game. Exactly. That was insane. Where else we at here? How excited are you for the possible PJ Tucker return? There is no PJ Tucker return. Everybody needs to stop it. I don't even know why these news companies write stuff like that. They're just trolling. They just want clicks, dude. There's no possible way you're bringing PJ Tucker back. He can't play. What? Why won't we accept that somebody's done? Why won't people accept that somebody's done? He got thrown into the Harden trade, and the Clippers couldn't put him on the floor. He's cooked. And then he was mad and tried to request a trade out of LA. And you can't request a trade when nobody wants you. You're done. And then I've had people on the internet tell me we should bring PJ. There's be people in the live stream that would be like, we need PJ Tucker's dog mentality. Dude, in the playoffs, they were saying that. We're missing PJ Tucker's dog mentality. Have you watched him lately? He can't play. He's done. Age is a real thing. Please stop. There's no PJ Tucker return. You don't need another 50-year-old on this team, man. I hope you ask that as a troll. I hope you do. Andre Drummond's D was great right before overtime. Yeah, the steals. Facts. Typing D was great is kind of crazy, but we'll let it go. We'll let it slide. Can we talk about Maxey's blocks? Hell yeah, bro. He had the one block in the first half, which was a really nice one, and then he had the one that should have saved the game, but stupid officials reviewed the out of bounds and then called a foul after the play. But, incredible block, both of them, by Tyrese Maxey, man. Caleb Martin is a baller. Shout out to Caleb Martin, man. He's struggling in certain aspects, probably just, accumulating to a new team and everything. But, yeah, Caleb Martin's been putting a lot of this team on his back in certain moments, too, being without two of your main guys, And so even though Caleb Martin and Kelly Oubre and those kind of guys aren't the best ball handling shot creators, they're at least saying, I need to try to do it because somebody else besides Maxey has to do it, So, and he's just aggressive as hell and just a fighter. And so I agree. Shout out to Caleb Martin for his mentality and the way that he's been playing the game, man. What do you think it looks like when we actually add PG, Embiid, or both? If Tyrese Maxey's back in a rhythm and the rest of the team is playing like this, scrappy, diving on the floor, coming up with 20 offensive rebounds in a game, and then you add Paul George as another elite shot creator. I mean elite shot creator. Watch just a couple of the highlights in his only preseason game. It'll take burden off of Tyrese Maxey, and I think just Tyrese Maxey and Paul George with this roster can be hard to stop. And then if we get Embiid back, of course, even better. We're in another year of if they're healthy, they're great. But, it's true. If they're healthy, they're great. If they're healthy, they're a championship contender. They will work out the kinks. They will have bad games where they get ran off the floor by a bunch of G League guys and stuff like that, but they will work out the kinks. They will build chemistry. And if they are healthy, with Embiid and Paul George, they are a championship contender. I just hope and pray that finally we get a healthy season or a healthy second half of the season in playoffs or, whatever it is. How excited are you to trade for Malcolm Brogdon? I would love Malcolm Brogdon. I said that before the trade deadline last year. I think I was saying, where the hell's Malcolm Brogdon at, in the offseason this year? Because I would, a big 6'5" physical point guard who can play defense and is pass first would be absolutely perfect to start alongside Tyrese Maxey. I mean, anybody that really knows about Malcolm Brogdon can't argue that. And if the Sixers could pull that off at the trade deadline, I would love it. I don't know where Malcolm Brogdon is right now. I think he's stuck up in Portland. Yes to Malcolm Brogdon all the way. Malcolm Brogdon starting and then bringing Jared McCain off the bench, bro. That's a good guard rotation right there. Why do the refs, Kastner, thanks for being a member of the channel, man. Why do the refs always try to skew the end of games for us? Almost every game, man, it's hard to watch. Dude, I think they're just really bad at their jobs, man. I think the communication from the NBA to officiating is so bad. Like, it just doesn't seem like there's like a round table meeting where the NBA explains the rules to officials. Like, it just seems like a complete free-for-all. It seems like they're always making shit up on the fly. It's really bad. But I don't think they're trying against the 76ers. I just think they're really bad because we got a couple of really bad calls go in our favor also. In this game. They called a couple of ticky-tack moving screens on Miles Turner in like big moments of the game, and I just don't like to see that in the NBA unless the screen is really obviously moving. Like, why are you watching the game trying to call that? It's annoying. But we got those to go in our way a couple of times, and Maxey got a couple of bailout calls that I thought weren't fouls. One against, I think, Nembhard, who was straight up and down under the rim, and then another one on Nembhard where he kind of pivot-footed. And so a couple of bad calls went our way. I didn't think it was one-sided officiating. I just thought the replay review thing was so embarrassingly bad for the NBA. They got to get that shit right because that's just so bad, dude. That's just so bad. How do you think the fans will react to seeing Harris home on Wednesday? Will he get booed? Abso-freaking-lutely. Tobias Harris will get booed on Wednesday, guys. Here's the thing about Sixers fans. There's Sixers fans on the internet, and then there's real Sixers fans that go to the arena every game. They hate Tobias Harris. Let me tell you, they hate Tobias Harris. You know, this is like when people were like, do you think Ben Simmons will get booed when he returns? What? Yes, he will get booed. And the reason is because he showed such a lack of heart and effort for that amount of money. I know people say, well, he got overpaid. It's not his fault. He's not good enough for that contract. No, it's the lack of heart and effort for that much money the city of Philadelphia hates. Yes, Tobias Harris will absolutely get booed when they say his name. I hope people throw crumble cookies on the floor. I was going to go to the game in a crumble cookie costume, but, you know, I'm busy now and I can't do that. But I think Paul George is coming back on Wednesday. He's warming up. Well, I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. A couple more comments and questions, man. Wednesday night crumble cookies is back in the house. Let's go. Maxey came through for my son's birthday. Happy birthday to your son, man. Shout out to your son. Happy birthday. Council already in the doghouse. Man, he just looks out of control when he gets on the floor, bro. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, he's getting a tribute video. Yeah, right. They can't do that. Dude, wouldn't it be hilarious, though? Because they would play a tribute video and the arena would boo the entire time. That would be so Sixers. Because the Sixers are, it's always obvious how out of touch, like, ownership and management is with the actual fan base. It would just be so Sixers for ownership and management to come up with an idea to play a Tobias Harris tribute video and have the fans absolutely boo the hell out of it the whole time it's on the screen. That would be so Sixers, bro. Oh, man. Maxey, Oubre, Paul George, Martin, Embiid, Brogdon, Gordon, Council, Yabusele, Drummond. Off of the bench. Where's McCain, bro? Where's McCain? Eric Gordon did some great things in this game, man, especially in the first half. And again, him and Lowry have a little bit left in the tank, but you can't play them 40 minutes. They're going to have spurts. You got to use them for what they got left in the tank, and that's it, you know? Yeah, man, I think that's all I got, bro. This game took a lot out of me, dude. Like, it's calling these games live now on YouTube. Bro, like, it's a lot, man. I'm so glad there's a 2-day break. I feel like I was playing in the game, dude. But this is the life I've signed up for. And so here I am, man. Here I am. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. You guys are the best, man. Thanks for coming through the live stream. Thanks for hanging out in the post-game live. I will talk to you all very soon. Have a good one. I'm out.